What's up YouTube, DMLX here, and today we're breaking down the final battle trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3 that is packed with a lot of major reveals, hidden details you might have missed, and moments that make you want to bawl your eyes out. Man, the end of January can't come soon enough, and with that being said, let's get on with the breakdown. First off, let's start with Sora's opening monologue.
They can take your world, they can take your heart, cut you loose from all you know, but if it's your fate, then every step forward will always be a step closer to home.
Which is most likely what he'll say at the beginning of Kingdom Hearts 3's opening cinematic, like he did with Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts 2. Also during that monologue, we can see Master Xehanort summoning Kingdom Hearts once again, surrounded by multiple no-name Keyblades. We also see Kingdom Hearts itself looking a bit unstable, with a yellow and blue color scheme shrouded in darkness, along with Master Xehanort floating in front of it, possibly positioning himself to use the power of the Heart of All Worlds. Then we see Aqua falling into the dark abyss covered in darkness, which may possibly be the end of her fight with Anthem Seeker of Darkness, or her after being defeated by Sora, who later then saves her and recruits her as part of the Guardians of Light. Moving on, we have the Seekers of Darkness gathered together and are standing on 13 pillars in the Keyblade graveyard. And as the camera pans to the right, we can get a good look at a few of the members, which seem to be Vexen, Marluxia, Larxene, Demyx, who's playing a sitar, probably for dramatic effect, and Luxord, most likely way into clash with the Seven Lights. Then we see Buzz Lightyear getting swept up by the darkness, which I presume happens at the end of the Toy Box story arc, where Buzz is either captured by the organization for further study, or returns to his original world, seeing that the version of Toy Box Sora and company are in is just a copy like the worlds in Dream Drop Distance. If we fast forward through the trailer to the same scene with young Xehanort, he says,
"Hey, how you doing, little mama? Let me whisper in your ear."
Okay, for real this time.
Find the hearts joined to yours.
Which is what Xigbar says to Sora on Olympus.
Accept the power you're given. Find the hearts joined to yours.
Basically, the Seekers of Darkness are telling Sora to hurry the f*** up and assemble the 7 Guardians of Light, so they can get this Keyblade War show on the road. Moving on, we see Rapunzel having an altercation with Mother Gothel, most likely taking place at the end of the Kingdom of Corona story arc. As we see in the next scene, Sora, Donald, Goofy, and Flynn are riding on Maximus, heading towards Rapunzel's tower, just like in the film. Next we get our first look at Scrooge McDuck in Twilight Town. Now he was last seen chronologically selling ice cream in Radiant Garden in Kingdom Hearts 2, so I guess he decided to find business elsewhere. Maybe he's looking to make a business deal with Remy at his restaurant? Also, I really like the detail of various NPCs hanging around the courtyard. It really makes the world feel less empty than it did in previous Kingdom Hearts games. Next we have what looks like to be a shot-for-shot recreation of Let It Go from Frozen. So if you're not a fan of this song, I suggest you hit that skip scene button as soon as possible. Then we see Anna beginning to turn to solid ice, which seems to be a reenactment of the last act of the film, and we all know how that played out. However, will Hans try to deliver the kill strike towards Elsa once again, or will Square Enix provide a twist on the act of love thawing a frozen heart? Moving on, we see Jack fighting Davy Jones, Sora and Baymax taking on the corrupted Baymax, as well as the reveal of a new Link summon, Stitch, which is called Plasma Encounter, and looks quite effective in battle if I do say so myself. It seems like Stitch has the ability to place laser shields around the map, and if enemies are caught in the crossfire, they'll receive a heavy amount of damage. In the next clip, we finally get the confirmation that Riku is a playable character in Kingdom Hearts 3. And in this moment, Riku is using his new Keyblade Braveheart against the Demon Tower in the Dark Margin. However, compared to Sora gameplay wise, Riku doesn't have a focus meter, meaning he can't use Shot Lock, and doesn't have the ability to use Link summons. But Riku does have his exclusive situation commands, which include Dark Viagra, which has been a main staple ability of his since Kingdom Hearts 1. Also, it seems Mickey is missing from his party. Now, we know Riku and Mickey went into the Realm of Darkness to find Aqua, and eventually they do find her, but most likely end up getting their asses kicked. Maybe Mickey gets knocked out or is trapped somewhere, and Riku has to fight the Demon Tower by himself, or Riku went back into the Realm of Darkness alone out of arrogance, seeing that he has a new Keyblade. Either way, I'm just happy to play as Riku again, one of my favorite characters in Kingdom Hearts. With that being said, after that, we have the reveal of a new Keyblade based on Pixar's Ratatouille, which I assume is obtained through making a certain amount of recipes in Remy's restaurant. Also, its Keyblade transformation is a frying pan, so if you wanted to defeat Master Xehanort and the rest of the Seekers of Darkness with a cooking tool and serve up a full platter of Keyblade sandwiches to the face, this is the Keyblade for the job. Then we get a montage of various minigames with Japanese pudding Heartless, as well as the confirmation that we do return to Port Royal in the Caribbean. Then we see Sora showing off his dance moves during the festival in Kingdom of Corona, as well as what looks to be a mini-boss of some sort, with the design resembling a horse-type Heartless connected to Rook-like chariots, along with a tease of a new form for Sora called Rage Form, which sounds badass. Maybe it's a new variation of Anti-Form? We'll just have to wait and see. Moving on, we have Sora and company fighting a Heartless boss underwater, and when Sora uses his element spells underwater, they get new names, which include Sea Fire, Sea Blizzard, and Sea Thunder, and they seem to work differently underwater as well, presenting a more quote-unquote realistic approach towards magic. Here we have another minigame with the Gigamechs. It's hard to tell what the objective is at this moment, but I'm guessing it's some type of horde mode where you have to take out as many mechs as you can. Then we get a first look at the Davy Jones boss fight taking place during the Caribbean, and boy, Sora is buying this man octopus squid thing. Cut to Monstropolis, we have what looks to be a creature straight out of Epic Mickey, who could possibly be the final boss of this world. However, it's unclear if this blob-like creature is a Heartless or an Unversed. Back in Kingdom of Corona, we have what looks to be the final boss of the world taking place at Rapunzel's tower. My guess is Mother Gothel's darkness summons the Heartless to her aid, and at this point Flynn has been stabbed and is unable to help Sora in battle. Then we get a glimpse of gameplay of the new 1000 Heartless battle, which turns out to be more of a situation where you have to destroy as many enemies as possible once the bar in the top left hand corner is fully depleted. Instead of fighting a certain amount of Heartless, nobodies, and Unversed. There's also a situation command called Trinity Guard, which sounds like a new variation of training limit for Kingdom Hearts 3. Now this is the part of the trailer where the main story beats kick in. We see Lee and Kairi in her Kingdom Hearts 2 outfit, mind you, having some sea salt ice cream before sparring one another. Kairi tells Lee not to hold back, which triggers Lee to briefly remember Xion, which is a reference to an emotional moment in Days.
Please don't hold back, Axel. Promise.
What's your problem?
Then we see Isa talking to a hooded figure who is supposedly tasked with providing the Secrets of Darkness their last vessel. Personally, I think this hooded figure is Ansem the Wise, but maybe Squirrel will throw a curveball on us. Next we have Vanilla still wanting to become whole with Ventus, but honestly this man should probably just give up at this point. It didn't work out the first time, and I doubt it's going to be successful the second time around. Back in Twilight Town we have Pete and Maleficent searching for the mysterious black box. Then we see Chirithy questioning Sora's ability to restore someone's heart after being lost, which she kinda did do in Kingdom Hearts 1 with Kairi and the rest of the Princesses of Heart. Moving on, Lee reunites with Isa on the clock tower in Twilight Town, and it seems Isa accepts his fate as a vessel for Xehanort, and doesn't give a about any sea salt ice cream. I'm betting this is one of those final warning type scenarios where Isa tries to bring back Lee to the organization, but ultimately Lee will refuse and be part of the 7 Guardians of Light. Now this is why I believe Ansem the Wise was the hooded figure from earlier, as he confronts the fake Ansem by the old mansion. He talks about creating enough victims who apparently were children according to the fake Ansem from his experiments of the heart and heartless. And it seems once again the organization is forcing Ansem the Wise to do their bidding by conjuring up the last vessel for Xehanort. Then we see Riku fighting his replica while Ansem Seeker of Darkness watches from the sidelines. With such little context in the scene, it's impossible to know why this is actually happening. Maybe Ansem's still trying to make the real Riku give into the darkness? Here we have young Xehanort warning Sora about wielding his power foolishly, and Sora responds with a very naive comment.
There's a high price to pay for wielding such power foolishly.
So what?
Boy, if you don't get...
You would think he learned his lesson from the events of Dream Drop Distance and start using his head more when going into battle. The trailer then cuts to what looks to be the actual final battle, where we see Sora and company fighting an army of Heartless, and we also get a glimpse of the Riku replica summoning a dark entity, which kind of looks like Master Xehanort if you pause it at the right moment. Lee is then confronted by a hooded figure wielding the Kingdom Key, who is most likely Xion serving as the last vessel for the 13 Secrets of Darkness, with Xemnas standing behind her, which then cuts to Xemnas using one of his most iconic attacks on Lee, and spawn one of the most badass moments in Kingdom Hearts history. Unfortunately, with reaction commands no longer in Kingdom Hearts 3, and no party member by Lee's side, he's Also, we see Saïx by Xemnas' side in his Berserk mode, which comes from the power of the moon. Now, it could be possible Isa decides to pull a Darth Vader and try to save Lee, seeing that they were once best friends, but I think he's fallen too far into darkness for that to happen. Then we see Sora and Ven being taken away by dark chains. It's hard to tell where these chains are coming from, but my guess is it could be Terranort, seeing that the original Terra was able to conjure up light chains of his own. Also, it's hard to tell if Ven is conscious in this scene, but since we can't hear any audio cues of Ven in distress, I'm going to assume Sora still hasn't given Ven's heart back, but it could all be a misdirect. Moving on, it seems at some point during the final battle, Mickey will get trapped by Luxord, as we can see his signature nobody card surrounding the area. Next we have what looks to be either Donald stopping a very powerful attack, or might have cast a very powerful spell that depleted all of his energy, leaving him in an unconscious state. Now this might look like the end for Donald, but this is a Disney There's no way Donald's getting killed off in Kingdom Hearts 3, or any other future Kingdom Hearts game for that matter. You fooled me once, Square, but it's not gonna happen a second time. And in the next scene, one by one, Sora's friends get swept up by swarms of Heartless, with Riku pulling off one of the most anime-inspired moves I've ever seen in Kingdom Hearts. And then we hear Riku say,
Sora,
You don't believe that. I know you don't.
Which leads into my favorite moment of the trailer, where Sora is screaming in agony. Now the Japanese version. Now this is probably happening because Sora is alone against fighting Master Xehanort and his 12 other dark vessels, as alluded to on the chessboard. Also, if you look closely, you can see sparks of blue light fading away in the air by Sora's knees. My guess is that this could be the death of Riku, which would ultimately put Sora over the edge. However, the trailer doesn't end there. After the logo appears, the trailer cuts to a brand new world where Master Xehanort and his 12 other selves can finally be one. The new outfits for the Seekers of Darkness are quite interesting, like a fusion between a Sith Lord, the Shredder, and the Black Knight from Fire Emblem. Also, this new world could most likely be the infamous Cable Town referenced many years back, but Master Xehanort called this world Scala ad Caelum, which is translated as Stairway to Heaven in Latin. Also, if you compare the symbols on the various structures of Scala ad Caelum, they match up with the same symbols on the ruins in the Keyblade graveyard. Could it be possible that both these worlds are one and the same? Now, the significance of this new world is a bit of a mystery at this point in time, but something tells me that this ritual with Master Xehanort and his dark vessels will lead him to becoming an immortal figure of some sort and try to rule over all worlds, which may lead into Sora's final stand against Master Xehanort's plan. And there you guys have it, that's my breakdown of the final battle trailer for Kingdom Hearts 3. Let me know what you guys thought of the trailer in the comment section down below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, it really helps me out. Subscribe for more content from me on Kingdom Hearts 3 and other games in general. I'm DMLX. I'll see you in the future.